So there you have it. Deal done. Didn't take long.
Nope.
Got a new manager.
So
we will find out what Rick Renteria is going to do for a living.
Oh, he'll do something. He'll treat him well.
I think,
he'll treat him well. I think Friday will be the announcement and press conference on Monday. What do you think? No Bears game. Monday's the perfect day.
And you know how I feel about the future of Rick Renteria?
How do you feel?
Don't care. I think you let Maddon make whatever decisions he wants on his staff. You don't burden him with anything. You don't force Chris Bosio on him. You don't force a hitting coach on him. I think when you make this hire, you say, you run your dugout. You run your bullpen. We can suggest. We say, we like this guy. We'd love to have him around, but it is your show, dude.
That's true. You're hiring a guy with that. I would say the same thing. I don't. Chris Bosio, by all counts, is a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
If he wants to keep him fine, good. If he doesn't, okay. Yeah, I would not burden him with a single guy. You make up your mind. I don't know how you do that without even having been around him, but you don't want to set any parameters for him. You don't want to restrict him in any way.
Not a bit.
Nope.
You just got the best manager in baseball, and you get out of his way.
Get out the damn way.
And I'm sure that these conversations have already occurred, but you say, what do you need? What do you want? How do we maximize this right damn now? Write down your ideal list. Who do you want as your bench coach? Maybe it's somebody you got to go get from permission to talk to who's currently on another team. Now, there's nothing that should be off limits here. You don't do this half-assed. You don't do this say, well, we'd like you to keep this guy. Don't be the Bears, is what I'm saying. Don't be the Bears. You say, all right, this is your show. I want you to fill out a shopping list, Joe, and you tell me what you want when you want it. What I know is this is a very, very exciting time to be a Chicago Cubs fan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very exciting time to be an employee of CBS Radio in Chicago that will be carrying your Chicago Cubs games.
I couldn't be more pleased
this
by
year
all of it, by the way.
And for many, 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 many years.
Couldn't be more pleased. You know what? I'm going to celebrate. Fire Bob Costas.
Hey, look what we got. Hey,
fire. Get out of here.
Yeah, the 630 says he must have been able to get through the mock press conference.
Oh, man.
So it'll be the deal that we expected, and I imagine 5+ something, probably, a 4 or 5 year deal?
Yep.
That's great.
He'll be around for every bit of it, too.
That's great.
That's terrific for the Cubs. That is really good. We'll check with, apparently not for Gordon Wittenmeyer, but everybody else seems to be okay with it.
And I guess MLB might be unhappy because you're not supposed to reveal this kind of thing until after the World Series, right? But nobody's watching this World Series. The nation doesn't care about this World Series. The ratings are historically low. I don't think anybody cares.
Paddle your ass for that.
So what do you think? 312-644-6767 per Jon Heyman of CBSSports.com. Joe Maddon is the new manager of the Chicago Cubs. This is Tom on the score. Hi, Tom.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I'm excited to hear this news. A big fan of the Cubs. The only fear I have is that since the year 2000, the Cubs have hired that manager, that Joe Maddon. They did it with Sweet Lou Piniella. He kicked up a lot of dirt, never won the championship. You got Dusty.
Yeah, but that's not Maddon's fault. He has nothing to do with those guys.
Yeah.
And of course, I agree with you. He has nothing to do with them.
It has nothing to do with them.
You're absolutely right, and let's see what happens. And I agree they should open up the drawer and say whatever you want, Joe. It's your team. Run it the way you want. But this sort of like, letting Rick Renteria go after the year, no chance. Something doesn't sit right. I agree.
What do you mean it doesn't? What doesn't sit right? They got Joe Maddon.
You're right. They got Joe Maddon.
What doesn't sit right?
I guess I'm a bit pessimistic about the move.
But what doesn't sit right? What about Rick Renteria doesn't sit right?
Well, nothing, because he did nothing.
Okay, well then make up your damn mind before you call. Jeff in Roscoe Village, you're on the score.
Elaine.
Hey, guys. I had to actually comment about, now it's trivial with all the Madden news, but about the Bulls tonight and Thibodeau's playing time, his rotations and things like that. And the frustrating thing as a Bulls fan is that you sit here and watch a team like the Spurs, and they've got guys coming in like Aaron Baines and Patty Mills. Patty Mills is hurt, but they come in and during the regular season, Pop uses that time to develop his rotation and develop these guys that have weaknesses by the other teams deem that they have weaknesses. The Spurs find a strength in them. They let them play it out through the regular season, and then playoff time they have value. And the frustrating thing with Tibbs is that they can't do one thing if they don't play defense up his caliber in the 15th game of the season. They're useless to him until later on when they desperately need someone. I mean, that's how I envision how they should be using the rotation. And to hear that Mirotic is going to play 4 minutes or get a DNP.
Let's see how it evolves.
Yeah, I agree.
If you haven't played a game
yet. If in point of fact it happens that way, say that you don't see them, I think that's wrong. I think that's the wrong thing to do. I think you play them. It's a damn regular season. I think that's the time. I agree. I know what your concern would be. I agree with the concern. Going back and get a new line.
Ken in Warrenville, you're on the score.
Hey, Dan, Terry, how you doing?
Good.
Great.
Terry, Dan, does Joe Maddon play in the field?
All right, get to your point.
My point is, you had Lou Pinelli, you had Dusty Baker.
He has nothing to do with them.
Well, what is your guy's point that all of a sudden he's going to come in and change everything?
Who said that?
He's the best manager in baseball.
I'm just listening to the callers, and I'm listening to you.
Who said that? Who said he was going to change everything?
Well, what I'm trying to say is Ozzie Guillen was...
Don't mention anybody else. Talk about this hire.
Well, I think it's a great hire.
Okay, thank you for your call. What the hell is wrong with everybody?
I think they're all from the Sun-Times.
In Burbank, this is Chip on the score.
Yeah, guys, happy to hear about this guy, Matt, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun on the north side. I'm basically a baseball fan, but I am a White Sox fan, and my question to you is, a lot of noise being made on the north side. How do the Sox catch up? What do they got to do?
They're not competing with them for headlines. That's not a real competition.
Okay.
So don't worry about it.
Well, I'm just wondering what the Sox might have in store.
Well, but
that's not what we're talking about right now.
You got to worry about finding a Sox fan. It has nothing to do with what the Cubs do, just in general.
Right. I mean, you can be concerned with your team.
Yeah, find a Sox fan.
This is great. So Jon Heyman says the Cubs are going to hire Joe Maddon. The first call you take is pessimistic about the move. The second guy's mad because Joe Maddon doesn't play on the field. And the third guy wants to know what the White Sox are going to do now.
Is that Boers and Bernstein? Is that the very essence?
And, hey, listen, those calls were taken in order,
They were in order.
I didn't do anything.
Yep.
I didn't manipulate the system. That's how they called in. That's great. Welcome to Boers and Bernstein, everybody.
Well, the 630 says, well, the first Joe Maddon callers immediately turned Good News Wednesday into Bears Monday.
Wow. He's not going to play. Oh, my God almighty. Nobody said anything. We haven't analyzed it at all other than telling you they hired the best manager in the game. That's all we've said.
Right.
We haven't said change anything. We haven't said they do anything. All we're telling you is they have hired baseball's best manager. Not just from us. Don't let our thinking get in the way of what the truth is. But I think you would find it probably 9 out of 10 guys who are around the game would say exactly the same thing. Guys who write about the game, no matter where they're, SI, CBS, wherever you are, newspapers, I think they would say the same thing to you. That's all we've said. No drastic changes. We haven't said anything. All we did was repeat the news.
Another texter says these callers are so Cubs.
Boy.
I love it. You got Boers and Bernstein. We got something to talk about that, according to Jon Heyman, the new Cubs manager is Joe Maddon. Boy, if someone would have told me that a couple of months ago, I would have said, what the hell are you talking about? You on drugs?
And did you expect those first 3 calls?
No.
Also on drugs.
No, you got the score.
Now it's time for 10 Seconds of Glory. Record your own 10 Seconds of Glory by downloading the free Audio Roadshow app for your smartphone. Today's question is...
Besides a healthy Rose and a playoff run, what do you want from the Bulls this season?
I want courtside seats to every home game and sponge baths from the Lovables. I want to see at least 2 spinal taps, because if you're not getting a spinal tap, you're not playing the Thibodeau way.
This has been your 10 Seconds of Glory on Sports Radio 670 The Score.
I don't know. I guess it's fine.
Yeah, I don't know either. 447 Chicago Sports Radio 670 The Score. Boers and Bernstein and the news. Jon Heyman of CBS reporting the Cubs have hired Joe Maddon.
Yeah, nothing official. His exact tweet is simply this: Joe Maddon to become Cubs manager.
And, of course, the reaction to it has been, okay. Does he play? What about Dusty? What about Lou Piniella? What about Juan Pizarro? What the hell's the matter with you people? You are in the position to hire the best manager in the game, so you do it. We're not. I don't think I'm guaranteeing anything. I don't think Dan is guaranteeing anything. All we're saying is you've got a perfect team for him on the way here. The perfect team for him to manage. The team he has shown you he can manage. What is your deal?
I don't know.
Well, oh boy. Anyway, that's sort of been the news of the day.
Tim in Peoria, sort of been. You're on The Score.
Hi, how you guys doing?
All right.
Say, I just got in here, so if somebody asked this, I apologize. What do you think the likelihood is that Theo and Jet give this guy kind of carte blanche to bring in his own staff?
The first thing I said was that's my hope.
Oh, okay.
That's what I would do, is say fill out just a laundry list. And even if there are guys who are on other teams, if we got to go ask permission, I want Joe Maddon to have his dream team. I want absolutely a dream team of pitching coach, bench coach, bullpen guy, whatever he thinks would give the Cubs the best possible chance to win multiple World Series. What do you
if he
need?
decides Chris Bosio is that guy, then so be it.
Maybe he wants Davey Martinez with him again.
Maybe. Well, yeah, that's been the rumor, but because Davey is just not getting the interviews and the attention, because they're hiring guys that I'm not sure he's not better than.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's been watching for a long time now, and most baseball people think very highly of him. Yet these weirdos that are being hired, I don't know. Are they? I don't know. So yeah, that would be a strong possibility because it doesn't appear that there's going to be a managerial job for him.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't appear, unless it's Tampa. You want to manage that team? What do you think? Want to cut your teeth on that one?
If I'm Davey Martinez, I'm ready for a job.
Yep.
Ready to grab a job and make it work one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
Matt's on The Score. Hi, Matt.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I want to preface this by saying I am not your typical Chicago meatball baseball fan.
Then
but
you are.
So
well, if you have to say that, then you probably are.
You probably are, yeah. But go ahead.
My question for you is this. I love the hire. I'm excited about it. Even though I'm actually a White Sox fan, I think it's great.
It doesn't matter.
I know, but here's
we
my
don't
question
care.
for you. Here's my question. My question is simply this. How many victories is a good manager worth for a team? If we have sabermetrics out there measuring all sorts of new stuff that we've never seen, is there some sort of stat that develops of, is a good manager worth
There are several different stats. Pythagorean wins, base runs expected, and others. None are perfect. The belief is that the best managers just don't lose you any games.
I'm going to take the rest of the day off.
No, you can't. You can't leave me here alone with this. No, we're not going to do Hub. Hub's going to be on at 6, so you'll be able to ask Hub all your questions at that point.
Okay.
So he's going to be here, but we're going to keep talking the news of the day as we do on WSCR. Maywood and KC, you're on The Score.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, that first caller about Joe Maddon, he was either a Ponce Cub fan or a new Cub fan because he didn't know what the hell he was talking about. Hey, I haven't been this excited about the Cubs in 11 years, man. I think it's a great hire, and because I'm tired of being, the mediocre Cubs fan. We always mediocre, but when you go after
they've been mediocre. They've been awful.
They for mediocre.
Exactly. Yeah. You're right.
But see, they're going to be in their championship window here very soon, and when they're in that championship window, they're going to have the best manager in the game. I mean, I think that's a pretty good combination.
That's all.
That's how I would look
I didn't
at it.
really think this was that tough to understand. From the moment
That's how I look at it.
The rumors began swirling about this possibility, and you heard Brian McRae, who was on with Speaks and Manley, saying that at the World Series, it's sort of been the talk. It's all anybody's saying about how Maddon was going to be joining the Cubs. In Williamsport, Indiana, Mike, you're on the score.
Hey, how are you guys doing today?
Fine.
My wife kind of ruined my thrill of Joe Maddon being signed. She asked if he was the old Raiders football coach.
And she won't ask it again.
Kevin in Huntley, you're on the score.
Hey, gentlemen, how y'all doing tonight, man? Hey, I love your show, guys. I just want to let you guys know I totally agree with this hire, and I think it kind of accelerates the Theo plan, because I really don't think that they thought they can get a good manager this soon, and it's only going to bring more better players that are going to want to come to the Cubs.
No, managers don't really attract players.
Well,
you're not hiring them to lure players.
No, but I mean, if you're a free agent, you're
not hiring them to lure free agents. Money decides where free agents go.
All right, yeah, okay.
You're hiring them to manage the team.
Money is
right to manage his young players and
veteran players.
I'm very excited about it, and I'm a Cubs fan since 1962. And all I can say is go Cubs, and you guys have a great show, man. Okay, take care.
Okay. Well, I don't disagree with you on that point.
You often do.
Well, most days I think we suck.
Yeah.
I think most days is kind of like kind of a sucky thing we do. But
can I
today,
just say something? We're happy to take phone calls, but it doesn't matter if you're a Cub fan or a Sox fan.
Well, and really, you agree with a hire? What? What? You agree with the hire?
Hey, but seriously though, what do you guys think the White Sox should do now?
It doesn't matter how long you've been. Why does everybody feel compelled to say how long they've been a Cub fan? Nobody cares how long you've been a Cub fan.
Dan, I've been a Cubs fan since '83, and I'm really questioning this hire because '83. I just wonder, they had other guys before like Baker and Piniella. Why do you think they're going to win now, Dan? Why did you say earlier they're going to win the World Series next year?
Oh, no. All right. Well,
Matty, that's another reason I should leave. I mean, you got Hub here. I'm just done with this guy. He's got him winning. I can't take it between him and the callers.
I just got a text from the Sultan of Guilt who says, my wife also asked whether the Cubs hired former Oakland coach Art Shell.
Not enough room on the bench for him.
Boers and Bernstein, the news is that Jon Heyman says that Joe Maddon will become the Cubs' next manager. We're talking about it as only we can with our people on the score.
And at 5:04, Boers and Bernstein, Chicago Sports Radio 670. The score. Ordinarily we'd be talking to Hub, but we'll do transition with Hub. We've canceled Hub.
Well, Hub's on at 6. He's hosting. Yeah. So any questions you have for him?
We'll transition with him later on, and we'll talk about this because I'll bet you he's an excited Cub fan too.
He indeed is. I was just talking to him. This segment is brought to you by Al Piemonte Ford in Melrose Park. Go to apford.com. Here is the full story at cbssports.com. It is their headline. He's in Kansas City, where the Dateline is here, of course. But Joe Maddon is about to become the new manager of the Cubs, sources tell CBSSports.com. Maddon and the Cubs are on the verge of agreeing to a mega deal, according to people familiar with the situation. The Cubs deny the deal was done in response. However, people familiar with the dealings say that it is certain to be completed in coming days and that Maddon would indeed be the next Cubs manager. The contract, once finalized, is expected to make Maddon one of the highest paid managers in baseball and quite likely the best paid of the National League. Mike Scioscia's Angels deal pays him $5 million annually, so he sets the standard. Cubs president Theo Epstein has long been an admirer of Maddon, according to people close to the team. The Cubs intend to make a big splash in free agency, and this represents a big start. Current Cubs manager Rick Renteria was told the team was exploring the possibility of hiring Maddon, who became a free agent after recently opting out of his Rays deal. And no information yet on whether Renteria, but I think the Cubs will find a way to take care of him.
Yes.
And we're finding out what you think, and it's really been bizarre.
Disappointing, I'd say.
Tim in Beecher, you are on the score.
Hey, guys, what's going on? Where do you rank this hire as far as against when they hired Piniella?
I'm not ranking it at all.
Well, okay, not ranking it, but how big of it? How does it compare?
They just hired the best manager in baseball. You just look at it in and of itself. Don't compare it to Piniella or Baker. Just look at it for what it is for this team.
Okay, when they brought these managers in,
don't worry about other managers. Worry about this manager and this team. It has nothing to do with Lou Piniella or Dusty Baker.
Completely different situations if you look at what's happening here. This is a completely different situation.
What are the odds this ends in heartbreak?
What are these? Who are these people?
Idiot.
Like I said, he means us. Well, I've been called that.
I mean, what is this? Seriously, what's going on today?
I don't know. That's a lot in a row, though. It'd be more than a coincidence, isn't it?
Victor downtown, you're on the score.
What else does Theo and Jed and everybody have to do until everybody realizes there's nothing more they can do? I mean, they've gotten the best available for manager and putting together a team, and everybody's still upset.
There can't be this many stupid people out there.
Really,
in Beecher, I understand it because it's sort of odd.
It's the easiest. It's the easiest storyline. I mean, to understand that we've come along a long time. They've hired the best manager in baseball,
and the perfect guy to fit what they're doing for when they're doing it.
Nothing to do with anything else they've ever done. Nothing. Absolutely nothing to do with whatever else they've done.
Here's where Champagne Al says, I imagine Theo Epstein sitting in a conference room. In that conference room is a large white board with a list of tasks. Next to each is a checkbox. In the list, somewhere near the top, is the task, draft talented position players. That checkbox is checked. Somewhere near the middle or the end is the task, hire a sabermetrically minded manager who can be the face of the organization when we eventually make a World Series. This now also has a check mark. In your guys' imaginary Epstein whiteboard, what is next on that task list? Well, we know. Veteran pitching.
Yeah.
Spend money on pitching.
Yeah, the other parts of the class are not good. This free agent class, that I don't know if the Cubs would be interested in much of anything there, but pitching is about it. There's the big three. Shields, Scherzer, Lester.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, kids, I don't know. But look, I guess I can't say it any other way. Just let it go. Just continue on. I mean, I don't know what other way to put it.
Now, the baseball columnist for the New York Post and MLB Network insider Joel Sherman just tweeted, can confirm Jon Heyman report Cubs have reached agreement with Joe Maddon to be their manager. So you've got a corroboration.
What about that against Lou Piniella?
What are the odds it ends in heartbreak? Seriously. You lose your phone.
We're not talking about the odds it ends anywhere.
Have you guys seen anything on Twitter from any of the White Sox beat reporters? Have the White Sox answered yet? Or no? Is there anything on the south side?
Yeah, they rehired Al Lopez.
Lots of noise on the north side, Terry. What's going on the south side now?
Hey, what's going on down there? Matty, I'll check with my people. See what the reaction is.
In Wheatfield, Indiana. He's Jason. He's on the score.
Gentlemen, I used to love your show. I still do. Look, I'm a Sox fan, and like the Bears, they've slowly been pushing me away because of just bad management.
We're not talking about the White Sox now.
I know. Let's give me 1 second, Dan. I'm just trying to make a point.
Well, there you got your point. Hollow point.
Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Let's go further away and try Wayne on the score. Hi, Wayne.
Hey, how we doing, guys? Hey, just wondering, is it a World Series win or just World Series trip or bust for Joe Maddon in his 4 or 5?
That's for any manager, isn't it?
It's for anybody.
It's for everybody.
I don't know how many times the Cubs need to specifically state their goals to you, but Theo Epstein has made it very clear what the goals of the organization are. So what do you need? It has nothing to do with Joe Maddon. It's whoever they would hire as their manager. That doesn't change anything.
Yeah, any baseball team, the goal is the same when you hire a manager.
They have explicitly defined their goals. Making the playoffs every year to give them an opportunity to win the World Series every year. Randy in Kenosha, you're on the score.
Hello, guys. This is bizarre, the whole response. I've been listening, and I'm kind of embarrassed as a Cub fan. Look, Dan, you stole my thunder a few moments ago when you said that Maddon is basically, I'm paraphrasing, but Maddon is basically the best hire for the Cubs based on what they're trying to do and who they would like to have sit in that dugout managing the team, correct? Mm-hmm. That's how I look at this. He's the best possible guy that they could have hired. And not only that, is they didn't just sit back and say, well, we already have a manager here. We got 2 years left on a contract. They made their move. I don't know what else Cub fans want. And this whole idea of, well, we hired good guys in the past, Baker, Piniella. Does that mean you don't hire the best possible manager in the future? No. It's totally bizarre.
They have nothing to do with each other. They're unrelated. So I don't know why people have this desire to relate them.
Because we're idiots. Is it clear to you?
I guess.
Where are Hubs callers? Can Hubs callers call us and just be happy about a baseball?
Hey, guys.
Hey, guys. Yeah, we need him. Need somebody with a functioning brain.
Let's try Tony next on the score.
Hey, guys. I'm just curious if you think now, does Joe Maddon have the clout to sit across from Theo in spring training and force his hand to put Chris Bryant as a starting third baseman, or is that going to keep the same timetable? Later in the summer, if Schwarber or Addison Russell are tearing up AA, AAA, wherever they're at, and they have a hole, let's say in left field, does this force Theo now, does that speed up the timetable for them to move these guys up and then lose that service time?
That's a good question. I think he's got a lot more gravity than Renteria. They have to listen to him. They certainly will give more weight to what this guy thinks than to what Renteria or Dale Swaim thinks. There's no doubt about that. As far as your exact words, forcing their hand will never be forced. But
right.
But do I think it's possible that he could have a stronger say? Why wouldn't he?
Right.
It's Joe Maddon.
Right. He's right. And then my second question, or just statement, would be, it's encouraging to know, I think there's been a lot of questions about whether the Ricketts have the money and are willing to spend the money. The fact that they're willing to eat 2 years of Renteria's salary.
I have no question. Nobody who
be those questions.
Right, there is nobody who's been following this actually has that question about the Ricketts family.
No, they haven't. And they've always, it's just they're not going to waste it. They're not going to be stupid about it. You're going to give them what looks like maybe the best contract in baseball. I hardly think that's, And Bryant was probably what I had seen and what I had heard. What my people told me, that Bryant was going to be here in June, and if it speeds up to April, fine with me. Let him play, for the love of Mary Kay Christ Almighty. Let him play. And if Joe Maddon says, "Yeah, I want him," he'll be here when the season starts. That goes for any of them. Addison Russell, name it.
Another tweet here from Joel Sherman, who says, I suspect Rays and or MLB will look into tampering charges against the Cubs, considering the deal Maddon left and how quickly this came together in Chicago. Well, they can look all they want, but the Cubs are completely unconcerned about any tampering issue because they didn't. It happened fast because it happened fast.
Geez, you got the best manager in the game. What do you want people to do?
Right. Unless they've got unless they've got an actual paper trail proving that there was some incentivization to Maddon to opt out of his deal because, hey, by the way, you got this opt out, you can come here. Unless that contact is proven, there's absolutely no case.
Tough to prove, by the way.
Maddox boys on the score.
Hey, guys.
White.
Wow!
White pharmacist.
See, that's not my beef. What's your beef?
Hey,
that's
steal my bits.
Not my beef.
We sit in the corner in a second waiting for you. Well, white pharmacist, I'm afraid that neither one of us had anything to do with that, and we certainly we sank.
No, if you want to settle that score, you got other people you got to attack.
Yep, that's correct. We can't punch that button on you.
JT in Aurora, you're on WSCR.
Do you expect Joe Maddon to clear out the current coaching staff and replace him with his staff from the Rays?
If he wants.
It'll be up to him. I mean, there may be contractual, obligations with what the coaches he has in Tampa. They may have 2-year deals or whatever, but yeah, I think he will be absolutely free to do whatever he wants. If he says, Theo, look, here's what I want. And Theo will say, you tell me what it is and we'll get it. I think it'll work really easily, if possible.
Nick
says, not possible.
He says, for me, the second most important thing about the Joe Maddon hire, besides having the best manager in baseball, is what it confirms about the Cubs' young talent. Joe Maddon wants to win a World Series. Yeah. He could have gone almost anywhere he wanted, and he chose Chicago. This tells me that Maddon, a guy who knows a bit about baseball, sees the same thing in the Cubs' young talent that everyone else does. Nothing groundbreaking, but it's nice to have that confirmation.
Plus, he loved the city.
Mm-hmm.
He loves the city. So he is in heaven any way you look, whether baseball-wise, lifestyle-wise, whatever. He loves this city.
And Chesty Puller says the most exciting Cubs baseball news from the last few years has finally been announced, and the reaction I'm hearing on this show has made me realize one thing. The Cubs hurried this along as fast as possible before Cubs fans could scare Joe Maddon the hell away.
It's amazing.
We got more to come. We got some calls out there to some potential guests to get their thought as well on the now doubly confirmed news that Joe Maddon is going to be the Cubs' next manager.
Hard to even say it. Hard to even, really? You're hearing this and you're going, did I just say that? That Joe Maddon is going to manage the Cubs?
He is, and you said it.
Yep.
You heard it here on The Score.
Renteria's in-game management was poor, and I know secondhand from that some Cubs officials were frustrated with that. Maddon, on the other hand, is a very good tactical manager. Not perfect, but I think one of the best in the game right now, and has a pretty good track record with working with young players. No aversion whatsoever to incorporating young players. He had to do it constantly in Tampa Bay, and I think that that's an ideal fit for them because they're going to continue to be incorporating young players.
That is the veteran baseball reporter for the Tampa Bay Times, Mark Hopkin. Mm-hmm. Been doing it for a long time, and quite the busy dude, by the way. He's on a lot of stuff down there, so he knows of what he speaks. You got Boers and Bernstein, Chicago Sports Radio 670 The Score, talking about the news of the day.
And that's that. We've got a report from Jon Heyman, now confirmed by Joel Sherman of MLB Network, that Joe Maddon is going to be the next manager of the Chicago Cubs. Wow.
Still hard to believe.
Wow. This is right there with the Theo thing.
Mm-hmm.
The guy all of a sudden just magically becomes available and then
there he is,
runs into your arms.
Yep.
Patrick and Bartlett, you're on The Score.
Hey, guys. Hey, I just wanted to bring up expectations between Renteria and Maddon. Going into today, I was expecting at least a 500 team going into next year, just basically looking off of how they did last year versus the previous year. I think with Maddon, you can probably expect at least 500, if not
Wait. Let them get through free agency first. Just don't set any win totals until you know what the team looks like.
Get a better idea what you're dealing with.
There's no reason to do that.
Yeah, making predictions,
Yeah, that's you're way out ahead of yourself. Let's see. They will tell you, and they will show you what their expectations are.
Mm-hmm.
And then you should set yours. In Knox, Indiana, we haven't had a lot of good luck with Indiana today. Sean.
Does anybody ever?
You're on The Score.
I'm going to try to change that, fellas. I love this hire. I absolutely love it. You're getting a two-time AL Manager of the Year. He's finished in the top five out of the last 7 years as Manager of the Year. He took the team in the Tampa Bay Rays that was in pretty much obscurity when he first got in there, made them relevant in a division that's just Red Sox, Yankees. And that's all you really have to know. I don't get what's so hard to understand about that. Just be happy, Cub fans. I'm happy. You should be happy. You guys have a good day.
Thank you.
Be happy. That's all you want. That's what we want you to be. We don't have any predictions for you. I'm not measuring up against anybody. I'm looking at it simply as simply as you can.
They got him.
Yeah. You got the best manager in baseball, in my opinion, not everybody's opinion, in my opinion, to go with what you've already done, what you hope to be. There's no guarantees in baseball. None whatsoever. And free agency, there's three pitchers that are prime targets of teams.
Scherzer, Lester, Shields.
Period. Paragraph.
Cubs will be in talks regarding one or two.
Assume they will.
Jason is in Joliet, and he's on The Score.
Hey, guys. You guys just mentioned the three that they're going to be going after are Lester, Shields, and Scherzer. Now, obviously the Cubs have the money to pay somebody like James Shields, so now that they have Maddon, who was together with Shields, do you think that gives them a bit of an advantage to sign Shields now? And if so, do you think it's worth giving up that second-round draft pick they'd have to forfeit for Shields?
Well, the Maddon question, I don't know how much that matters. Because
they got along very well. I know that, but in terms of does it matter, I don't know. Does it matter?
Money matters more. And let's see who the pitching coach is, because that's the person he's going to be working with more.
Yeah, they did get along, though, and Shields is a very easy guy to get along with and a tremendous guy to have in your clubhouse. Is he as effective as he was? I don't know. I mean, I think that of the three, that is the guy who will cost you the least.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't, the market, of course, it's like anything else. It takes only one team to just go crazy, and I think somebody will go out of their mind for Scherzer. And pretty close to that for Lester. I'm not sure the Cubs are that crazy about him. I'm not sure they are what I'm hearing.
We cleared the decks for talk about the Cubs' imminent hiring of Joe Maddon, and we also have some surprises possible, so we're going to break it here and come back in a few on the Score.
You're listening to The Score, broadcasting live from the Hyundai Studios. Sports Radio 670 The Score and 670thescore.com. Chicago's original sports talk station. Find your Hyundai dealer at buyhyundai.com.
Late night laughs are on the U at the Comedy Stop. With Seinfeld at 10.
I think you may have something here.
And the King of Queens at 11.
It's hilarious. It's like you're a comedy team.
Tonight on WCIU The U.
Looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home? Then you need to call David Hochberg.
He grew up chasing rabbits in Belle Glade, Florida.
President of Townstone Financial. Today, meet Melissa.
Hello, friend.
Purchased her first home and spoke with a realtor's recommended lender who she didn't trust, so she called her father, Bob, for advice. Bob told Melissa the only lender he trusted to help his only daughter was David, so Melissa called for a free consultation. David answered Melissa's questions and is helping her secure the mortgage on her home. David appreciates referrals, but as a father of 3 girls, it's extra special when parents refer their daughters to him for their mortgage needs. David loves realtors. He recommends everybody use a realtor, but you're buying the home. It's your choice who secures the mortgage. You do not, I repeat, you do not have to use your realtor's recommended lender. So if you're purchasing a home, you want to work with an excellent lender, call David at 312-896-2111. David has provided Score listeners with honest and trustworthy advice for over 6 years, and he can help you. What are you waiting for? Call David now, 312-896-2111, 312-896-2111. Tune into the Townstone Financial Show Saturdays from 1 to 3 p.m. Townstone Financial is Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, and Illinois mortgage licensee number 6629 and NMLS number 136639.
And at 5:35 on Chicago Sports Radio 670 Score, Boers and Bernstein, we've been talking about a guy breaking a story. How about the guy?
Yeah, how about him? How about Jon Heyman? And how about Jon Heyman of CBSSports.com, who is on Twitter at Jon Heyman CBS, joining us on the GrossingerCity.com hotline. Grosinger City, Toyota, Chevy, Cadillac, located just west of North and Clybourne. Nice work, Jon Heyman.
Thank you.
So how did it all happen? Would it take us through the information as you got it and how this came together so quickly?
Well, my understanding is he will be the Cubs manager, Joe Maddon. It's going to be a big deal. Obviously he opted out several days ago from his Rays deal that was to pay him a little bit less than $2 million for this coming year, 2015. And, my understanding is that up to 10 teams showed interest in a variety of jobs, from manager to chief baseball officer, the new Tony La Russa position with the Diamondbacks. And, he sorted through them, and he wants to manage. He particularly wants to manage in the National League. And certainly the Cubs look like a coming team. They have excellent positional prospects. They promise to engage in the free agent market this winter. Obviously, they know they need at least one starting pitcher, probably 2, and they look like a team that's going for it. So it fits all of his criteria. National League, team on the rise, obviously a historic team. Anybody would love that job. And my understanding is he will take that job.
It's interesting, John, because it almost sounds, just listening to you, like it's almost too good to be true. You get there. I mean, just at the right time when you're in the exact place where the Cubs are at, then you get a guy who couldn't be more known for handling this exact kind of team.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good thing for him, no question about that. He's going to the National League, which he's really wanted to be a manager in the National League, and he's going to a team on the rise. Tampa obviously hasn't drafted well lately. They could be a team on the decline. They have stadium issues, and it's a good thing for the Cubs too. We all know they tried hard to get Joe Girardi a year ago, and my understanding is their offer for him was about $5 million per year. This way they get a guy who's really an exceptional manager, not that Girardi isn't, but exceptional, one of the top few managers in the game, both strategically and in the clubhouse. So I think it's great for the Cubs as well. And Theo Epstein, from what I'm told, has been a long-time admirer of Joe Maddon. He did finish second in the interview process in 2003 when Epstein hired Terry Francona. Obviously, can't have any regrets about that. As Francona and Epstein went to a World Series together in Boston. But he always liked Joe Maddon and was part of that division. And, I think it's exactly the right guy for him. The one bad thing for Maddon was that weren't a lot of teams looking for a manager at this moment, but it seems to have worked out very nicely for him, as it should, because he deserves it.
Do you believe there is anything to indicate a valid claim of tampering by the Rays or MLB?
I will say this. There's no way they'll ever be able to prove it. I do think, in general, tampering does go on. In this case, where he's making less than $2 million for a year, and you know that Mike Scioscia's got a 10-year, $50 million deal, and you know what the other top managers are paid, he's got the opt-out. I don't think you need any information to know that you need to leave Tampa at that moment. There is no reason at that moment for me to think that there should have been or would be any tampering. It's a pretty clear-cut case. Do they take? Now, I understand Tampa offered a little bit of a raise, but, Tampa's raise is a little different than what the Cubs can offer or any other major market team. It behooved him to opt out of the Rays, whether he had the Cubs or anything else. Better to just sit on the sidelines for a few months and then get the mega deal. You weren't going to get it in Tampa. So I don't see any reason why there would need to be any tampering, and I think there's no chance that anyone would ever prove tampering. I'm sure Tampa can be muttering to themselves all they want, but the opt-out was put in there for a reason. Andrew Friedman left. Joe Maddon capitalized, and that's life in the big city, as they say.
Yeah, and when Andrew Friedman left and Joe said he didn't know that opt-out clause, I'd have taken it too. Maybe I wouldn't have known it was there, but I sure as hell would have taken it when my guy is gone. I mean, that was a pretty good relationship, as I know, between those two. And as you point out, John, that team is in trouble because the farm system doesn't have what it once had, and everything else that's wrong with it, and nobody goes to the game, and everything else. You could pile on and pile on and pile on. But I mean, I knew the minute Andrew Friedman was gone, Joe Maddon was gone some way.
Yeah, we just didn't know it was coming right away. We thought maybe in a year, he had a year to go in the contract. Nobody was aware. Whether Joe Maddon was or not, I don't know. But nobody on the outside publicly knew that there was an opt-out. That was obviously a very good idea. They probably sensed, and relationships are important, but obviously the bottom line counts too. And I'm sure they sensed that they were taking an under-market deal. I remember when it was originally reported that it was $6 million for 3 years, that was really not market value for Joe Maddon. Meanwhile, Andrew Friedman had a deal where he didn't have a contract. He kept getting raises based on interest from the Angels, the Astros, and I think maybe one other team. I don't know if it was the Cubs or not, but there were at least 2 or 3 teams that showed interest. He kept getting raises. Maddon was locked into a clearly under-market deal, which turned out to be worth less than $2 million a year. Obviously, no one's going to take up donations for him, but if you're making half of what you think you should be making, you probably try to improve on that if you can.
We know the Cubs have coaches under contract, many of them actually, and some of them recently re-signed. Is this I would hope is a big enough hire where they would be able to say to Joe, tell us who you want and where they are now and what we have to do to get them, because this is your show and we're going to get you a staff with which you are only 100% comfortable. Will he have that power?
That I'm not sure of. I don't know. They're trying to be as sensitive as they can to everybody, I'm sure. It was a difficult situation. I don't think they were unhappy with Rick Renteria. They brought him in to do a job. I think he was, by and large, doing that job and helping to develop their young talent. But I think ultimately, with the Cubs expecting to be a World Series contender, I don't think it's probably stunning. It came a little bit earlier than we expected, but I don't think it's stunning that they would go with Joe Maddon. In terms of the coaches, I'm not sure. He may be sensitive to who's there. He may like some of the guys that are there or all of them. I doubt that he would clean the whole staff out. I don't see him doing that. He's pretty sensitive about these things.
All right, John, we appreciate you jumping on with us again. Congratulations on busting the story, my friend, and hopefully we get a chance to visit down the road soon.
All right, good talking to you guys.
And it's Jon Heyman of CBSSports.com.
Yeah,
it was his story today. Joe Maddon set to become Cubs
What
manager.
about Lou Piniella?
Hey. What are the White Sox doing? Yeah, if you missed it when the news first broke, we were
quite a show.
We were taking some very strange phone calls from some very strange people.
We got strange people listening. I wouldn't expect anything less, though. I mean, seriously, what would you expect? Look at our Bears calls. What do you think you're going to get on this?
And lifelong Cubs fan Hub Arkush is going to be hosting from 6 to 10, so he's going to be popping on in just a few minutes to transition with us. But this is quite a day, because this is right there with the Theo stuff when you're able to land this guy. And I know that baseball doesn't want this kind of news overshadowing.
Oh, no.
Who cares, though?
I know they don't, though.
Right now, you have Chicago talking baseball right now when we would have been taking Bulls calls and talking about the Bears all afternoon. So most cities, I mean, nobody's watching this World Series anyway. I don't know why baseball would be so worried. You got now one of your major markets. You got a 2-team market that is gushing over baseball right now. Isn't that better than talking about the Bears and the Bulls? Because nobody cares about the World Series here.
Bud Sell to make sure. What's the new commissioner's name? What's that dude's name? Call him.
Rob Manfred?
Yeah.
Well, think about this, Terry.
Yep.
You should be celebrating today.
Yeah?
That in mere hours, Bud Selig will be done as MLB commissioner.
Yes, he will be.
Think about that. Mm-hmm. No matter who wins or loses, Terry Boers wins.
Yeah, but, boy, a lot of people honored him as the greatest commissioner in the history of baseball.
Ooh, are they our callers?
Okay.
Ron in Antioch, you're on the score.
Yeah, I got a couple of questions. First of all, has Maddon agreed to have his name changed and Chicagoized from Maddon to Maddon, as is so often pronounced? And secondly, will you folks be discussing the big Chicago story of the day, which is that Jose Canseco is now overqualified to be mayor of the city?
Man!
Okay.
Here's Jeff on the score.
Hello? Oh, sorry, guys. No, I just wanted to start off by saying I'm a Cub fan, but the part of the culture that is the biggest problem is the fans. They're negative all the time, and I think that's what Theo is underestimating. I know he doesn't really care.
What?
But is he underestimating?
What is he underestimating? He doesn't care? I mean, what is he underestimating that matters?
Well, good point. But my point is that's what, you guys are calling them all idiots.
What is it? What does Theo have to do with that? With our callers?
Look, you're listening to these callers and you're telling me they're not idiots?
Oh, absolutely, they're idiots.
Yeah, but what does that matter to the Cubs?
Yeah, Theo doesn't care. Theo was doing a job.
My point wasn't about Theo. My point was the fact that all these idiots. This is the worst part of the culture that the Cubs have. It's not the facility is going to be great. The players are coming along. You're going to hire a great manager. You got a great GM. The culture is the worst part of the culture is the fans.
What does that mean, though? What's the effect of that matters?
Yeah, they just call us. We accept the calls.
It doesn't.
If the only damage done is calling us, that's fine. We'll take that. We'll take that hit. And we have, actually.
In Wyoming, this is Mike on the score.
Well, hi, fellas. It's been a while. Congratulations on the news. As a Cardinal fan, I'm not happy about this news because I think it makes the Cubs pretty much an immediate contender. I know you guys said wait till you see what the roster does, but with the young talent, you know what Maddon's going to do with that. Well, secondly, just from your standpoint, what do you think, Butler or getting Maddon as the manager as far as the Chicago story goes?
I couldn't hear it.
I couldn't hear it either.
Sorry.
No, you're cutting out so many.
Comment on it because I couldn't hear it.
Nope.
Should we try Indiana again? It's been bad.
I know, but all right, give it Indiana one more run.
Kevin and Highland on the score.
On behalf of the great state of Indiana, I do want to apologize for some of the verbiage you guys are getting on your end of things.
Are you on the way to Canada?
Well, and I'm happy too that Sheila's going to be gone. So that Cubs Nation rejoice, MLB rejoice. We're all going to be in a better state here moving forward.
You're still in Indiana.
Right, true.
Your state ain't changing, dude, unless you're moving. Are you moving? Is your furniture with you?
No, it's not, but I do make the commute every day from Indiana to Chicago for work, so I kind of know where it's at. Now, Joe Maddon joined Tampa in 2006. In 2007, they had the worst record in the AL East, if not all of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2008, he leads this team to the World Series, albeit they lost to Philadelphia, I think, in 2008. So, obviously, the Cubs, they were at the bottom of the barrel last year, and we have all this young promise and talent. So, statistically, it could happen, but my question is this.
What do you mean statistically it could happen?
What's going to happen?
I'm not sure what and statistically what stats you're talking about.
Drastic improvements.
Well,
yes, that's the idea.
Yeah, that's
Drastic
the idea,
improvement.
but if it doesn't, you don't even know the makeup of the team. I mean, it's sort of early to declare one way or the other.
They haven't even begun free agency yet for next year. Wow.
So you want to talk to him or you want to talk to Hub?
I don't think we're going to talk to Hub because we've run up against it.
Okay, all right.
So
we won't talk to Hub.
That's it.
Hub.
It's over.
Hub,
It's
you do
all
it.
over.
Jab it, man, you do it. All right, some quick thank yous. We'll get out of the way. Hub Arkish will join you, and he is indeed a lifelong Cub fan. And don't forget, Bears expert.
And by the way, I did just get a note from a source that believes that, in his words, Theo will give him the keys to the car.
Yeah.
Commitment to bring in free agents. He can choose his coaches. If any coaches remain on the staff, it will be Maddon's decision and his alone. They will wait for the World Series to end before anything is.
In other words, you don't
announced.
mess with him.
Right. They're going to get out of his way.
Get out of his way.
All right. We thank Rick Bucher and Jon Heyman for joining us today.
We thank our crack production staff, the best in the damn business, Mr. Matt Vaticola.
How you doing, guys? Thanks for taking my call.
I love Matt Vaticola. I'm glad he's reunited with my guy, Chef Body, the best production man who ever lived, Chris Tannehill.
That finish with a flourish, especially with that right leg, definitely reminiscent of the great Pedro Martinez.
How about that? He's dancing out there now. He's having some fun. A little flavor in there. He's going salsa on him on the mound. A little merengue.
And our intern, Thor Gunderson. We thank you for listening, calling, emailing. See, we will do it all over again tomorrow. And tomorrow already, holy God, it's Thursday.
Hey, buddy.
Who you crapping? Well, yeah, I'm telling you, you got a prime week for it if you've been paying attention. All right, everybody have a terrific evening. Hub Arkish is coming your way. We will talk to you tomorrow afternoon.
What so proudly we hailed, were so gallantly streamed.